A prehistoric walk on the beach 13,000 years ago led to an amazing discovery. Imagine a family having a great day on the beach, mom, dad, and their kids squishing their feet into the delicate wet clay near the water's edge. Now imagine that this walk was done 13,000 years ago. Well, this is what happened last week. The oldest footprints in North America were discovered, and you won't be able to believe all that came up with it. The footprints were discovered by an anthropologist on an island in British Columbia, Canada, and they're the oldest human track marks in North America, according to a new study. The finding is made possible to conclude about humans thriving in North America, especially in the Pacific coast of Canada at the end of the last ice age. The study was made by Duncan McLaren, an anthropologist at the Hakai Institute and the University of Victoria in Canada. They found 39 footprints overall, and they were so well preserved that McLaren and his team were able to give U.S. current shoe sizes to each of them. They were a junior size 8, a junior size 1 or a woman size 3, and a woman size 8 or a man size 7. The landscape for the prehistoric walk on the beach was Calvert Island, located off the western coast of British Columbia, about 62 miles or 100 kilometers north of Vancouver Island. Near the end of the last ice age, about 11,700 years ago, the North American Cordilleran ice sheet ended along the Pacific coastline, leaving something called refugia that were iceless areas where animals and plants could live. Calvert Island was precisely this type of refugia, which led to modern researchers to study in a profound sense. It seems too perfect to be true, and it is. According to the researchers, investigating refugia is not an easy task, because the region is almost every time covered with temperate rainforest. Also, you have to take into consideration that the geography around the Ice Age was very different from now, because more of Earth's waters were frozen into huge glaciers. This is the reason why sea levels were deathly and scary, reaching 9.8 feet or 3 meters lower about 14,000 to 10,000 years ago on Calvert Island than they are today. We were testing the shoreline below the beach in the intertidal zone when the first footprint was discovered, McLaren told Live Science. The research group, which included members of the Heiltsuk First Nation and the Wikinucks First Nation, found the first footprint back in 2014, which was about 24 inches or 60 centimeters below the beach's surface on Calvert Island. The first discovery lighted a spark on the researchers' mind, and they went back in 2015 and 2016 for more. The trip paid off because they found more than 28 prints of the same period. Usually, footprints last only a moment, but in this case they were impressed into a wet clay that hardened and then was filled with sand, likely washed in from the beach below, McLaren said. The 29 footprints have a discernible arc, toe, and heel marks, and this is precisely what makes the scientists sure that they're human prints. But because the area is known for being home to a lot of grizzly bears and their paw prints are similar to human ones, they had to dig a little bit deeper. A thorough analysis reveals that no, these are not likely bear tracks, the researchers said. The tracks excavated on Calvert Island have a definite arc, lack characteristic claw marks, are not triangular in overall shape, lack a long third toe, and they're overall narrower than bear tracks, the researchers wrote in study. Also, they couldn't find any bear paw prints at the site. In fact, overall non-human tracks of any kind lack from the study that was excavated, the researchers wrote in the study. Calvert Island survived as an island in the Ice Age, which indicates that humans used boats to travel there. It's possible the footprints were left by a group of people disembarking from watercraft and moving toward a drier central activity area to the north or northwest, the researchers wrote in a study. The last discovery of early human marks was made in Manus Mastodon on the Olympic Peninsula of Washington State. Researchers found a bone point lodged into a mastodon rib that's dated to about 13,800 years ago. The oldest known human-inhabited site in Canada is younger. A group of artifacts, including a stone weapon found at Charlie Lake Cave in British Columbia, dates back to about 12,500 years ago, the researchers said. The new finding is encouraging for future researchers who might employ similar methods to identify archaeological sites along the Pacific coast, said Kevin Hatala, an assistant professor of biology at Chatham University in Pittsburgh, who was not involved in the study. Ultimately, the data seemed to show indisputable evidence of human presence along the Pacific coast of Canada, Hatala told Live Science. This is important because archaeological sites from this time and place have been quite rare.